Your top stories this evening, sponsored by Courts, bringing value home. Budget 2024's theme misleading. Opposition leader. Budget 2024 repeats mistakes of the past. Opposition's economic advisor. Speeding, major contributing factor to road fatalities. And Sky High, introducing direct flights between Guyana and the DR. HGP Nightly News begins now. Good evening to our viewers here in Guyana and online. I'm Alethea Grant with the Tuesday, 16th January 2024 edition of the HGP Nightly News. At this hour, we will tell you that opposition leader Aubrey Norton says the historic $1 trillion 2024 budget, which was presented on Monday under the theme Staying the Course, Building Prosperity for All, is nothing but misleading. According to Norton, the budget disproportionately favors family, friends, and favorites of the ruling People's Progressive Party Civic. Shamar Allen tells us more.
The government on Monday tabled a $1.146 trillion 2024 budget, which is the largest ever to be presented and represents a 46.6% increase from 2023. Dr. Ashni Singh, who presented the budget under the theme Staying the Course, Building Prosperity for All, said that the fiscal plan aims to improve the lives of all Guyanese. However, opposition leader Aubrey Norton does not believe that the budget will bring prosperity to the Guyanese citizenry. Instead, he alleges that the budget disproportionately favors family, friends, and favorites of the Irfan Ali-led regime.
But the government is so bent on creating this gravy train so that they can have a nice life. What they are doing is putting a lot of focus on infrastructure when not delivering proper services.
According to Norton, under 10% of the monies in this year's fiscal plan is intended directly to impact the lives of Guyanese.
Minister with responsibility for finance had the audacity to say that later in the year you will announce increases in wages and salaries for public servants. When you know full well that the wages and salaries that exist now are inadequate.
Shifting his attention to the public security sector, the opposition leader posited that it is evident that the focus is not on dealing with the most critical issues citizens face. A whopping $30.3 billion has been allocated to the Guyana Police Force, with plans to further complement the existing fleet.
Reduction in crime. And to the extent that they are not improving the investigative capacity, they seem to be facilitators of crime, because we have the money now that we could train people in the best institutions in the world to deal with crime.
The $3,000 increase in public assistance and old age pension did not miss Norton's rap.
What they have done is to give a little freck here and a freck there, calling it grants, rather than effective programs that will improve the lives of the people.
The debate on this year's budget is expected to commence on Monday, January 22nd. Reporting for HGP Nightly News, Shamar Allen.
Meanwhile, the question being asked is, will the $1 trillion 2024 budget really bring prosperity for all Guyanese? Well, the president says yes, but the opposition says no. Shamar Allen brings us more.
Shortly after the unveiling of the $1 trillion 2024 budget estimates in the National Assembly, President Dr. Irfan Ali asserted that the outlined measures in the fiscal plan would generate opportunities for every Guyanese citizen. During a Facebook live stream, the head of state said the budget would increase disposable income to more Guyanese while addressing the cost of living, which he credited his administration for containing.
So $7 billion is set aside to directly address and cushion the impact of costs of living as we analyze what is taking place globally.
Repeatedly in 2023, the opposition bashed the government for inadequately addressing the constant rise in the cost of living. In a specific reference to the budget allocation for sports, the Guyanese leader stated that his administration wants more people to become active and involved in sports.
We have taken a decision in Budget 2024 that we are removing all VAT and duty on sport equipment. So every single sport equipment and sport gear in our country will be now duty-free and VAT-free. And that is an important measure to continue to push sports as an important tool of transformation.
On the contrary, though, opposition leader Aubrey Norton has expressed skepticism about the budget's effectiveness in empowering the Guyanese people. In fact, he took a jab at the government, noting its below par performance on the disposable income front.
The threshold to 100,000. We were saying, take it to 150,000. More people would have benefited and you would have been in a better position. When you take it to 100,000, not many people will benefit.
Norton also pointed out concerns regarding youth and culture, stating that the government is yet to adequately address the myriad of challenges faced by youths.
There are many problems that the youth or that youths are facing that they are not coming to grips with. We have a lot of young people coming out of school, dropping out of school. They are not matriculating. They are not getting 5 subjects.
Some of the allocations in this year's fiscal plan include $204.1 billion for the upgrade and expansion of the country's road and bridge networks and a staggering $129.8 billion for the health sector, the largest ever budgetary allocation. Reporting for HGP Nightly News, Shamar Allen.
Carice Gonzalez will now tell us that Shadow Foreign Affairs Minister Amanza Walton Desir, in adding her voice to Budget 2024, expressed dissatisfaction, saying she was optimistic the incumbent administration would have surprised the nation with an impactful budget.
On Monday, on the sidelines of the National Assembly, Shadow Foreign Affairs Minister Amanza Walton Desir expressed her disapproval of the 2024 budget during an interview with this newscast.
I will say that it met my expectations of the PPP government, and that is absolutely nothing of substance for working class Guyanese. It is simply more of the same.
The budget presentation unveiled a $4 billion allocation for the Guyana Online Academic of Learning Gold Scholarship Program, while allocating $4.1 billion to the University of Guyana in 2024. In her statement, Walton Desir justified that the funds allocated to the Gold program could have been better utilized by the University of Guyana.
It occurred to me that we could go online offering courses at the University of Guyana. So if you are talking about lack of access to physical structures as a justification for pumping all of that money into gold, it would appear to me that the money would be better spent, pumped into the University of Guyana, our university, and having them being able to offer the online courses. Gold seems to be somebody's business, and we're going to get to the bottom of exactly what it is.
Furthermore, the Shadow Minister pointed out that the budget clearly neglects the working class population and lacks provision for human development.
You see all of the measures poised to get money back into the hands of big business and not enough disposable income for the common man.
For the HGP Nightly News, I am Carice Gonzalez.
More news on the other side of this break. Stay with us.
Well, that was easy. Getting what you want now. At Quartz, you can find appliances, electronics, and furniture that you need at the unbeatable prices. Bundle up and save, or buy one, get one up to 50% off selected gym equipment. Plus, get 20% off solder furniture and a free DVD player with the purchase of selected TVs. Get it now and pay it later with Ready Finance. Only at Quartz, bringing value home. Special conditions apply. Promotion runs January 1st through 31st, 2022.
S&L Electrical Agency believe that a good design begins with a great lighting plan. From ambiance lighting to statement chandeliers. Trendy LED fixtures. We've got it all. Layering your homes with lights is the key to creating spaces that welcome, comfort, and inspire. S&L Electrical Agency, importers and distributors of all electrical lamps, solar lights, cables, circuit breaker panels, AC units, and so much more. S&L Electrical Agency, 179 to 180 Thomas Street, Kitty. Telephone 226-3018, 223-1634.
Krishna Roth Establishment. No job is too small or too large. We specialize in all types of fabricating, machinery, excavator repairs, rice field pumps, and hydraulic hoses. Visit us at Lot 113, Block CC Monrepo, East Coast, Demerara, or call 220-9624, 616-9416, or 619-7880. At Krishna Roth Establishment, no job is too small or too large.
Ladies and gentlemen, are you ready to kick off the new year with a bang? Digicel has an offer that'll make your January extra special. Imagine winning up to $1 million in free groceries in Digicel's $6 million groceries extravaganza. Simply top up with $1,000 or more, and you can be one of 6 lucky winners to enjoy the ultimate shopping spree worth $6 million. What are you waiting for? Start topping up today. Digicel, the network for everyone, everywhere.
Welcome back. You with the HGP Nightly News. Economic advisor to leader of the opposition, Elson Lowe, has rejected claims that there was a 2% inflation rate for the year ending 2023, as presented by Finance Minister Dr. Ashley Singh in Monday's national budget. Carice Gonzalez has more in this report.
On the sidelines of the National Assembly, Elson Lowe, opposition leader's economic and youth policy advisor, pointed out to Nightly News that Budget 2024 inadequately addressed the cost of living for the average Guyanese.
Again, we've seen a budget that has repeated the mistakes of the past and it has really been, I think, a disappointment for most Guyanese. So this is alarming, and if this is the way that the government is thinking about the cost of living crisis, then that gives us a sense that they're not going to be responsive.
Meanwhile, Finance Minister Dr. Ashley Singh stated that despite facing numerous regional and international economic challenges, Guyana experienced lower inflation rates last year. He reported an inflation rate of 2% at the end of 2023, in comparison to 7.2% recorded in 2022. Additionally, food prices were at 3.8%, significantly lower than the 14.1% recorded in 2022. In contrast, Lowe, in a statement, contradicts Singh's claim about a 2% inflation highlighted in the national budget.
The indication by the government that there's only a 2% inflation rate really raises a question as to where the government is getting its information from, because the average Guyanese would tell you that the cost of goods in Guyana, and especially food, has not been 2%. Last year, I calculated a 7% inflation rate. The U.S. government, the U.S. State Department, has indicated a 6.6% inflation rate. 2% inflation rate would mean almost no noticeable inflation.
Additionally, the Global Economic Prospects Report highlights Guyana's remarkable double-digit economic growth, which significantly influences the overall regional figure. Excluding Guyana's growth, the report suggests a lower overall growth rate. The report also emphasized that aside from Guyana's resource-based boom since oil discovery in 2015, the region's growth is anticipated to accelerate to 4.1% in 2024 and 3.9% in 2025. Looking ahead, Guyana is projected to continue its ascent next year with a growth rate of 15.2% as per the World Bank's report. For the HGP Nightly News, I am Chris Gonzalez.
Let's now turn our attention to the story. Traffic records for the year 2024 so far revealed that speeding has been the primary contributing factor in the majority of road fatalities. This is according to Traffic Chief Mahindra Singh. More on this, Tiana Cole's report.
Only a few weeks into the new year, records indicate that speeding is the primary cause of deadly accidents. This is according to Traffic Chief Senior Superintendent Mahindra Singh.
For the few weeks we have gone by so far, speeding would have been the major factor contributing to most, especially fatal accidents.
Meanwhile, in 2023, the Traffic Chief said the contributing factors were mostly speeding, driving under the influence, inattentiveness, and pedestrians crossing in the paths of moving vehicles. As such, the Traffic Department will be conducting lectures in schools countrywide in an effort to spread awareness on the proper use of the roadways.
The reason for doing this predominantly is to persuade them. The entire sensitization process, it involves what would have contributed to what we're experiencing, and to have that realignment of their thought process, to have them shift into a new paradigm which now is more compliant.
The Traffic Chief said all this is being done with the aim of bringing about change that is so desired.
Less naturally of accidents, less loss of lives and or injuries to be sustained. The more these things were to occur, is the frequency for the loss of earning, and development generally can be stymied as a result of the damages and or loss of lives.
Some 171 persons have lost their lives on the country's roadways between January 1 and October 8, 2023. Of this number, 138 persons died from fatal accidents, otherwise known as vehicle-to-vehicle collisions or collisions involving pedestrians and cyclists. Meanwhile, 33 persons died from fatal incidents in which collisions with stationary objects such as poles and trenches. Further, 116 persons were injured during these fatal accidents, while 32 were from the fatal incidents. Tiana Cole reporting for the HGP Nightly News.
With the aim of prioritizing timely provision of justice for all Guyanese this year, the government has allocated $6.8 billion towards strengthening the justice system. More on this, Tiana Cole's report.
Senior Minister with responsibility for finance, Dr. Ashwini Singh, said the government will continue to prioritize timely provision of justice for all Guyanese, and as such has allocated a mammoth of $6.8 billion in this year's budget.
In this regard, investments in this sector have targeted the modernization of the architecture of the state, legal architecture of the state, promoting better access to justice for all, constitutional and law reform.
That was disclosed by Dr. Ashwini Singh on Monday while presenting the year's $1.146 trillion budget under the theme, quote-unquote, staying the course, building prosperity for all. Speaking on the expanding and upgrading of the physical infrastructure of the court system, the minister said to facilitate and expand access to justice across Guyana, a new magistrates' court and living quarters were constructed at Vigilance.
Advanced work on magistrates' courts and living quarters at Anna Regina, Cove and John, Friendship, Mabaruma, Maikoni, Madhya, Port Kaichum, and Timeri, as well as the extension of the Court of Appeal building in Kingston. In 2023, a sum of $1.3 billion was spent on these facilities. $1.7 billion is budgeted in 2024 to complete these works.
In relation to the Restorative Justice Act, which was passed in 2023, a Restorative Justice Center was established in Region 4, where key technical personnel and other officials received training.
Improving technical capacity and promoting adequate human resources. An amendment to the Court of Appeal Act in 2023 now allows for not less than 5 and not more than 9 judges sitting in the Court of Appeal, compared to 2 and 5 previously.
Additionally, in 2023, a total of 32 special prosecutors were trained in Regions 3, 4, 5, 6, and 10. In 2024, an additional 9 prosecutors will join the existing court.
Other initiatives include technological transformation of the justice system, smart courts, the use of video conferencing and digital recording systems, the rollout of the court case management system, contributing to greater efficiency for all of these. Budget 2024, sir, includes financial provisions to roll out all of these initiatives.
Tiana reporting for the HGP 93 News.
We will be back after this break with more news. Stay tuned.
Planning a cleanup? We can help. Sevon's Waste Management skip bins can be provided for home renovation projects, yard cleanup, or construction project. It's simple. Step 1, give us a call. Step 2, we put down the bin. Step 3, load it up with all of your junk. Step 4, we take it away. That's simple. Bins are also available in various sizes, so there is no job that is too big or too small. Call Sevon's Waste Management today at 218-1455.
At Raj Jewelry, we transform the most precious metals and diamonds into works of art, capturing timeless beauty, love, and commitment to create the most luxurious gold and diamond jewelries. From classic designs to modern masterpieces, our expert jewelers can help you find the perfect piece to commemorate a special occasion or simply to add a touch of luxury to your wardrobe. Raj Jewelry, Guyana's #1 retailer for luxury gold and diamond jewelry.
Welcome back as we continue the news. Sky High Aviation Services will begin direct flights between Guyana and the Dominican Republic beginning mid-February 2024. More on this, Daisy Richards report.
Sky High Dominicana, which conducts flights between several Caribbean destinations, will soon begin offering non-stop flights between Guyana and the Dominican Republic, DR, after a 4-year wait. During the announcement on Tuesday at Duke Lodge, the DR's ambassador to Guyana, Ernesto Torres Pereira, highlighted that it was always the DR's desire to have direct flights between the two nations.
We were fortunate enough that through the perseverance and commitment of Sky High, we were able to achieve it, before we thought it was going to be possible.
The ambassador added that this initiative will also boost Guyana and the DR's tourism sectors.
I would like to share with you that one of the policies that is being developed with the government of Guyana is to create options to have Guyana and the Dominican Republic as shared destinations.
The carrier also offers flights to other Caribbean destinations, among them Antigua and Barbuda, BVI, Cuba, St. Lucia, Dominica, among others, as well as the United States of America. Flights will be available twice weekly with departure days, Sundays and Saturdays, beginning on the 15th of February. For AGP Nightly News, I am Daisy Richards.
A staggering $135.2 billion has been budgeted for the education sector, with the government choosing to channel significant funds towards the construction of new schools. In this Shamar Allen's report, you will hear Shadow Minister of Education Coretta MacDonald raising concerns about the allocation, highlighting the neglect of existing schools and a focus on quantity over quality.
With plans to construct new schools and provide online scholarships and training, a whopping $135.2 billion has been allocated in the 2024 budget for the education sector. In commenting on the allocation, Shadow Minister of Education Coretta MacDonald said the fiscal plan focused heavily on development with no elevation for human resources.
I'm hearing new schools are going to be built here, new schools are going to be built there. And when you talk about, we have so many of our schools, you don't hear about rehabilitation work in those schools.
According to MacDonald, schools like St. Agnes Primary are grappling with sewage issues, while Amelia's Ward Primary and Mackenzie Secondary Schools are in dire need of rehabilitation. As for the $16 billion allocation earmarked for the construction of new schools, MacDonald fears that it might end up in the hands of those aligned with the government.
You know why we're hearing about new schools? We're hearing about new schools because that's where the monies can be siphoned off, and that's where you can give the projects to your friends, your families, and your favorites.
$4 billion has been set aside for the Guyana Online Academy of Learning Gold program to accommodate at least 6,000 new online scholarships this year. Notably, $4.1 billion is expected to go to the University of Guyana as the government begins to wipe out students' loans. However, there are concerns about whether this sum is adequate to cover loans and other bills to the university. In fact, Vice Chancellor Professor Paloma Mohammed Martin had disclosed a few weeks ago that the $3 billion allocation for 2023 narrowly covered 65% of the university's wage bill. Reporting for HGP Nightly News, Shamar Allen.
Stay tuned for regional news up next.
Attention homeowners and contractors. When it's time to add the finishing touches, tiles must be on your list. And there's only one place to get the best quality and widest range with modern designs. Gaffurs is the #1 supplier of tiles in Guyana. We've got floor and wall tiles, ceramic and porcelain tiles, stone slate, terrazzo stone, mosaic tiles, and all the accessories including tile trim, spacers, sealers, cleaners and polishers. Also the important thin set and grout. At Gaffurs, the options are endless, but we make it easy for you with the experts in our tile department. They are to assist you in making the right choice. Get the right tiles at the right price from Gaffurs Macdu Mega Complex or the outlets at Parika, Means, Land of Canaan, Bedford-Wacting, Rose Hall, Kanji, and Diamond. Gaffurs for all your tiling solutions.
Multi-skilled video editor / camera person wanted. Join our HGP TV video production and broadcast department for an exciting opportunity. As a video editor / camera person, your primary role involves transforming raw or pre-recorded news materials, including video, audio, and graphics, into broadcast-ready content for both television and online platforms. You also have the chance to cover assignments alongside our reporters, working either in studio or out in the field. If you are passionate about video editing and camera work and enjoy a good challenge, please get in touch with Ms. Carol Felix via email address carolfelix@hgptv.com to explore this opportunity.
Step right into the vibrant heart of Guyana with HGP TV's freshest series, Inside Culture. Join us every Wednesday at 7:30 p.m. on HGP TV Channel 16, Cable 67, where Inside Culture will bring you closer to the heart and soul of Guyana. Also, Inside Culture will be streaming live on all our social media platforms, hgptv.com, Facebook, and YouTube, rebroadcasting on Sundays at 7:30 p.m.
Good evening and welcome to Tuesday's edition of the Regional News. Venezuela's economy grew more than 5% in 2023 and growth will reach 8% this year, President Nicolas Maduro said during his annual address to the government legislature. Venezuela's economy has suffered a prolonged meltdown marked by triple-digit inflation and a mass exodus of millions of migrants seeking better prospects elsewhere, though its inflation rate is no longer Latin America's steepest since Argentina sped past 200%. State oil company PDVSA contributed $6.2 billion to the country's coffers last year, Maduro added. Sanctions relief, which is set to last until April, has increased prices for Venezuelan crude, and analysis expect the income to lead to more social spending as the government tries to ensure support in the coming presidential election. A date for the election has not yet been set, but it is expected to be in the second half of the year. The former managing director of BVI Ports Authority, Alethea Maynard, had her sentencing date pushed back by several weeks after repeated delays to the start of the drug and money laundering trial for former Premier Andrew Fahy. The trial for the former Premier is scheduled to begin on January 22, pending the outcome of several motions filed by the prosecution and defense. Maynard heads the prosecution's list of witnesses and will now be sentenced on February 22. Fahy, 53, is charged with one count of conspiracy to import a controlled substance, conspiracy to engage in money laundering, and attempted money laundering, in addition to interstate and foreign travel in aid of racketeering. Fahy was nabbed in Miami after he allegedly conspired with Maynard and her son Kadeem Maynard and agreed to allow large amounts of cocaine to pass through BVI's ports as part of a multi-million-dollar deal he's alleged to have made with the informant of the U.S. Drug Enforcement Administration, DEA, who was posing as a drug trafficker at the time. Maynard admitted in a plea agreement that she introduced the DEA informant to Fahy, and together they used their authority to facilitate the secret cocaine smuggling plan. She is expected to offer critical testimony against Fahy after accepting a plea agreement, which gives her a chance at a reduced sentence for her role in the scheme that shook the territory in 2022. Seasonal viruses and COVID-19 cases are rising across the U.S. Virgin Islands, forcing officials to urge islanders to be vigilant. The surge in new COVID-19 and flu infections has been linked to an influx of visitors during the holidays. Acting Health Commissioner Ruben Malloy said, quote-unquote, "We are receiving more and more calls about flu and viruses spreading in the territory, and we encourage the public to take precautions to protect against contracting and spreading the flu and COVID." Malloy noted epidemiology reports indicate low numbers of both COVID and flu cases, with 15 COVID cases reported in the first week of January and 7 flu cases in December. But he cautioned the territory could see a spike in cases later this month following large gathering associated with Christmas and Carnival. Islanders have been urged to get vaccinated against the flu and COVID-19 since they're among the best ways to prevent becoming severely impacted by the virus. Thank you for watching. I am Tiana Cole.
Budget 2024 is a theme misleading. Opposition leader. Budget 2024 repeats mistakes of the past. Opposition's economic advisor. Speeding, major contributing factor to road fatalities. And sky high, introducing direct flights between Guyana and the DR. Those are our major headlines. For these stories and more, please go to our website. It's www.hgptv.com. I'm Alethea Grant. Thanks for watching.